Hey everyone, my name is Lucy Hudson. I am the youth director here at First Church DeLand, and we just took our youth on our annual confirmation retreat. And so I wanted to come on here and make a podcast to let the students talk a little bit about their experience with confirmation. And we even have two students that got confirmed 2 years ago that went on the same retreat that are going to talk about their experiences since being confirmed and the impacts that it has had on their faith. But first, I wanted to kind of give a little overview of what we do on the retreat first. We go to St. Simmons Island, Georgia. The place is called Epworth by the Sea, and we go here because it's got a lot of historical significance for the Methodist denomination. It's where Charles and John Wesley stayed and originally evangelized. There's an awesome Methodist museum that we get to learn a lot about the history, and a really cool church that was made back in the day that just is really beautiful and shares a lot about the starting of the Methodist denomination and kind of where we come from. So we take all the youth actively going through confirmation that year with their mentors have the option to go, and then the head pastor, Mark Bittner, and myself will tag along too. And we went this year, and it was honestly just a really, really cool trip. This year we had a mix of some high schoolers and middle schoolers, which is fun because normally confirmation is more middle school heavy because that's when they can first go through confirmation. So by the time you get to high schoolers, a lot of them have already been confirmed. But this year we had high schoolers go too, which was awesome. And the group just got along really well, which just made my heart happy. And so they got to practice kind of embracing people that they wouldn't normally hang out with at youth, but they see all the time. So that was really cool. One of my favorite parts from the confirmation retreat was our session 2. We talked about the local church. And normally we go over church on the confirmation retreat, but we normally go over the denomination of the church. And so we used to be United Methodist, and so we would go over the very specific logistical stuff that the United Methodist denomination does as a whole to learn who we are and what we're a part of. But this year, we got to focus more on the local church side, which was really cool. And so session 2 was we just focused on Acts chapter 2, and we read it, and we got to emphasize to the students that church is more than just four walls. Like, yes, the denomination is important, and we talked about that. But we got to emphasize that Jesus actually calls you and me to be the church 7 days a week, 24/7, which is really cool. And that the local church is supposed to be a place where we come and get equipped and empowered to be able to go back out and be the church in the world. And so we got to talk about testimonies and how the church has already been impacting them and kind of open their eyes to how the Lord is moving in their lives and how he wants to continue to use them, and then how church kind of fits into that, both the building of the church and us being the body of the church. And so that was just my favorite part. I thought that was so cool. And so now we're going to invite some of our students on to talk about their experiences on the confirmation retreat. We have our first confirmand. Her name is Belle Adams. You are in 8th grade?
Yes.
Right, Belle? Nice. Well, welcome. So the question for you is, what did you take away from the confirmation retreat this past weekend?
I met this person. Her name is Georgia. And beforehand, I thought she was very hard to go up and introduce myself because she was very loud. And I was like, I don't think I would get along with her that well.
Mm-hmm.
But
because you're pretty shy, right?
Very.
Yeah, very different personalities for sure.
And when I actually talked to her, she was so sweet.
Aww.
I thought it was really nice talking to her. I was like, oh my gosh.
That's awesome. So you gained a new friendship.
Yeah.
Of someone. You see Georgia probably every Sunday at youth group, right?
Yeah, usually.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was really nice to just talk to her for a while. She's so sweet, though.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, Belle. And I love that you're creating new relationships. That's fantastic.
I'm glad to.
Yeah, thanks. Now we've got Colton Miller. He is one of our fantastic middle schoolers. He's in 7th grade. He just also went on the retreat with us. And Colton, I just wanted to ask you, what did we do on the confirmation retreat? What was one of your takeaways?
So during the retreat, we confirmed and strengthened our faith in God through several sessions in which our pastor taught us just the basics and fundamentals of the Christian faith. We also learned about the branches of our church and how we could create our own just easily. That's kind of it from what we did.
Sweet. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah.
Alrighty, we are back. I've got Caleb Garrett. He's one of our youth, and you are a sophomore in high school, right?
Yeah.
Just got his driver's license.
Yeah.
Whoop, whoop. He went on our confirmation retreat trip. And Caleb, tell us a little bit about one of our excursions that we took.
We went to this like old church, which I forgot the name of, but 3 presidents have been there. It's a cemetery. There was deer that people kept trying to run after and scare off because they couldn't just shut up after they were walking. There was an old lady that talked about the church, and it was actually in the shape of a cross, and then all the stained paint glasses were expensive, and they moved them. They're thinking about moving them from the one side to the other side. And then there was like a bus stop and like flowers.
Awesome. Yeah. Sweet. Thanks so much, Caleb. Alrighty, we've got 2 youth that have been on the confirmation retreat. They both went 2 years ago, so we wanted to invite them on and interview them. First, they're going to introduce themselves.
I'm Ashley, and I'm in 9th grade.
I'm Amelia, and I'm in 9th grade.
Welcome, ladies. The question that I want to ask you guys is, how has your faith been impacted since coming home from the confirmation retreat? Have you noticed a difference since being confirmed?
The way I practice it has not been impacted much, but the way I feel it has been impacted more.
Yeah. What do you mean by that?
I can almost feel God more ever since I went on the trip and then got baptized. It's a stronger feeling.
Yeah.
And more I want to do it.
That's awesome. What about you, Ashley?
I feel like it's easier to write in the journal and read the Bible without it feeling like a chore. And same with the baptized thing here, it just made me feel like I'm closer.
Yeah. That's really cool, right? That's a promise from God. That's why we get baptized, is he gives us spiritual gifts. We almost get unlocked a little bit.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you guys so much for coming on.